This is Replicant Fish. Welcome back. Glad you could join me again. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've had a nice week. And I hope you're focused and on your square as a man. Interesting video today. We've seen single women from the Europes, the Americas, and the UK. We've also seen leftover women from China, Xiongnu. But what's about the Middle East? I mean, it has to be different somewhere. Yes, it is different in certain places, except for major cities around the world. The modern liberated woman seems to be everywhere. And no matter where you go, you find many, yes, well-off, independent, liberated women. But then the question is, as a man, what quality of woman could you get from this crop of women? Many of these women don't even want to be married. So why as a man should you waste your time? Yeah, there are better things to do. But enough waffling, enough waffling. Let's begin.
For today's focus, we go to India, where marriage is an important institution, particularly for women. The notion of the single woman had long been considered an anomaly, but things are beginning to change. The South Asian country currently has more single women than ever before. That's 74 million of them.
Oh, even she was confused by the number. 74 million single women, good God.
Urban areas, however, are still dealing with discrimination and abuse. Here's a report from our bureau in India.
Tiara Arora moved to Delhi 6 years ago as a young intern. Today, the 24-year-old works in a hip design studio in the Indian capital. She lives on her own, loves her job, and the fact that she's in charge of her own life. She's part of a growing demographic in India, single women.
My mother would never have had this kind of an opportunity for sure. And she had to really struggle and also handle, on the other hand, getting married and having a child. So, I mean, I don't have to handle that.
Wow, look at that. All the struggles of getting married and having children. Oh my God, how horrible, how horrible. You know, it's interesting as a man to hear many modern women say this and then you think to yourself, well, so what is the point then? Might as well just have fun. If you have a large number of women who do this and live their lives this way, then how are men supposed to find the supposed wives they're supposed to find to build these supposed traditional families? Even if it's only some women, it's still a large number of women that men have to possibly choose from. Might as well just have your fun.
More and more women, especially in urban areas, are choosing careers over getting married. There are currently 74 million single women in India. That's 12% of the female population. There have never been as many single women in the history of the country. And this is a demographic that is growing rapidly. Between 2001 and 2011, their numbers have shot up by 39%.
So it's more in modern times, more women have become single by choice in a lot of cases because of their careers and they want to have this amazing life. But then what's going to happen in decades to come? Who's going to save all these single leftover women?
No one cares.
Yeah, so long as it's not you, men, so long as it's not you. That would equate to a lot of single older women in the future, and then it's like, it's kind of scary.
Of course, this group also includes widows, divorcees, and women who've been abandoned by their husbands.
How are you guys? Good. Very good. Do you want a drink?
Tiara enjoys the freedom that comes.
Oh yeah, bit of drink. Common thing amongst many young women, which isn't a problem. Of course, you know, young people can drink and have their fun. But the point is, for many women, when does it stop? Do women magically manifest and transform into homely, housewifey type women?
Seriously, that's trash.
No, they don't. No, many of them don't. Some pretend, but many of them just want to continue to live the good life, which is good, so long as they're not expecting a captain to save them at the end of this fun. Yeah, good luck.
With living alone.
Even if you tell your family, you have to come back home and show them that you have done something to like prove that I am able to stand up on my own feet.
But it's a very new thing, but at least in my closest circles, everyone is very focused on their careers, and I know everyone will fight for that over getting married.
Even women I've spoken to that may not be from my background, there is this sense that it's kind of creeping in that they also have a say in their family and they also have a say in like choosing a career. That
Marriage is no longer central to the lives of young women, at least in big cities. In these circles, women are marrying later, and divorce is much less of a taboo than it used to be.
Now, this is in India, but this is the same in many modern Western countries, isn't it? It's the same thing. It's not much different. Different people, yes. Similar lifestyles, though, isn't it? You know, the hookup culture that may last for many women up until they hit the wall and surpass the wall in some cases. So can we say that in the future, India may turn out like China or other parts of the West, where the older folk have to go to markets to try to, marry off their younger offspring, their modern, young offspring?
With this shift in Indian society, single women are becoming consumers in their own right, and they are pushing brands to change the way they advertise to women.
We personalize technology for you.
Really? While ads showing women doing chores at home
Oh yeah, run. Oh yeah, shake them. No, seriously.
still exist, companies are taking note of a new consumer category. Singlehood is a way for women to assert themselves, believes
Okay. Well, apologies to this woman. I thought it was a dude for a second.
Delhi-based author Rosalind De Mello, who also pens a weekly column on feminist issues.
Okay, it's because she's a feminist. Now I understand.
I think a lot of women don't obviously go around and saying, oh, I'm going to be a single woman.
Shong Yu. Yeah, some women don't have a choice in that matter. I mean, even if she can get a man, and have his company, it doesn't mean he's going to stay. I mean, the sad thing for many women is, yes, they can get a man, but can she get him to stay? Yeah. Is he going to stay? That's not funny. That isn't funny, but I'm not surprised this woman is a feminist and she writes books of feminists about feminism. Yeah. The picture paints itself already. Yeah.
And I think a lot of women often move to other cities as a form of escape, as a way of moving away from the domineering, sort of patriarchal setup of the family.
Oh no, the patriarchy, the man in charge. Oh no. I've made the point before how the good thing about dads being in the house is, in times gone, and maybe in some cases in modern places, in modern times, fathers used to actually have to judge and rate and evaluate the men his daughter dated. Yeah, not in modern times. Not in modern times. Women just want to escape and just get their whap out there, innit? Just like a woman. Yeah, keep the whap on the market in every part of the world, as if women matter. Yeah, I'm just being clever.
At least within the anonymity of a city, you can live alone and independently, and you don't really have to face the wrath of public judgment.
Yeah, have as much fun as you want as a woman. Yeah, of course. Why not?
It's a very different question when you go back home to your, the conservative setting that you came from.
Life is much more difficult for the 44 million single women who live.
This is just like the leftover women video from China. The women would leave the small farmland areas. They would go to the cities and then become what?
Propaganda tool.
Reckless city girls? Yeah. City girls? Yeah, that name makes more sense now. City girls, yeah? They leave the quiet, tranquil places and go to somewhere where they can unleash the WAP. Yeah, let it rip. Yeah, let it rip.
Widows, abandoned wives, and unmarried women are socially ostracized, and there is stigma attached to divorce.
This is my husband's motorbike. My brother-in-law destroyed it. He burnt a lot of clothes and also destroyed the beds.
Man's got problems. Man's got issues.
Rajwinder Kaur lives in Punjab. Her brother-in-law wanted to marry her after her husband died in a road accident.
Yeah, that's a bit weird. You don't want to really marry your brother's woman. It's like,
in order to get his property. When she
in order to get his property, okay. So it was one to get his property. He didn't really care about the woman. He just wanted, the house. Yeah. Oh, then it makes sense. But seriously. But that's no excuse to kind of destroy a bike. Come on. You destroyed a bike.
Refused, she incurred his wrath.
This society is not built for single women. It's scary to be alone. People make up all kinds of stories about me and emotionally torture me. It's very difficult to tolerate. I'm determined to stand on my own 2 feet, to take care of my needs, and I never beg for money.
The Ekal Nari Shakti Sangathan helps women like Rajwinder understand their rights, access government entitlements, and battle regressive social customs.
Okay, so this is another end of the spectrum where it's women suffering, but it's still women with their empowerment and their rights. But this is not the liberated, modern career women. No. These are the more lower class, more poor women who are suffering. It's an interesting perspective, but at least these women can still access government help because, it's not like women will ever abuse the amount of help they get from the government. Come on, please. Women aren't like that.
families in rural areas especially, they are not aware of any rights, and they do not voice their pain. We basically empower them to make them realize that this is not the end of their lives.
The women meet once a month to discuss strategies to lobby the government for better welfare policies. They also form an informal support network for each other.
Does the same thing exist for older men?
No one cares.
Because these are older women, these women wouldn't have any young children. Come on. So these women wouldn't be so in need of help that they would need, help for their young children. No, these women would have grown children if they had children. So my point is, would men get this as well? Do men in India get this? I know they don't. Not to this level, because it's the same in the West. Men don't get this in the West either, Yeah, as men, we just have to grudge and bear it and just live. Yeah. Once again, men, it's why I tell you, focus on your hustle to make sure you can build a life for yourself so that you never need a handout, because the point is, there's not many handouts for men anyway. So in a sense, you've got no choice. Stay on your game, on your hustle, man.
We were on our own. We used to be so scared of what other people might say. But now we are not alone. We have the support of hundreds of other women.
Empowerment, liberated women everywhere.
The rural-urban divide couldn't be starker. While some revel in their singlehood, others suffer because of it.
Exactly my point. It doesn't really work the same for everyone, does it?
But there's room for hope. In 2016, the Indian government for the first time drafted a policy to help single women overcome social and institutional hurdles.
That's now bringing Christophe Guillemot, who's a senior fellow.
Silence, you fool!
Now, many bad things happen all over the world. Yes, we have two ends of the spectrum. Women who are single willingly and not. But you see, this proves a few things. The lack of protection women have without a man in their life, and also how dauntingly empty it is for many older women without a man in their life. So for many of these younger women, that future emptiness, without a man, without protection, without care, could be something they all have to deal with. Just don't be one of the men they drag with them. Here, woof woof, as men, yeah. In other words, focus, observe, remember. The world is yours. Have a nice day.